Canada's vast wilderness offers some of the most breathtaking hiking opportunities in the world. But for those considering carrying a firearm for protection while exploring remote areas, it's important to understand that Canadian laws are highly regulated, and non-compliance can lead to serious consequences. In Canada, carrying a firearm while hiking is not only subject to federal laws, but also varies depending on where you're hiking. Let's break it down. On Crown land, areas owned by the government and often used for activities like hunting or trapping, you may carry a non-restricted firearm, such as a rifle or shotgun, without needing additional permits. However, this assumes you already hold a valid possession and acquisition license, commonly known as a PAL. Most national and provincial parks have strict rules prohibiting the possession or discharge of firearms. Even if you're carrying a non-restricted firearm, it must comply with park-specific regulations. Exceptions exist, such as during designated hunting seasons in approved areas, but these are rare and require careful planning. Always check the specific rules of the park you plan to visit, as they can vary significantly between provinces and territories. For individuals who work in remote areas, such as trappers, wildlife guides, or conservation officers, carrying a restricted firearm, like a handgun, may be necessary for personal safety. However, doing so requires meeting several stringent criteria. First, you must obtain a PAL with restricted privileges. This involves passing both the Canadian Firearms Safety Course, CFSC, and the Canadian Restricted Firearms Safety Course, RFSC, as well as passing a criminal background check. Next, you'll need an Authorization to Carry, ATC permit, issued by either the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP, or your province's Chief Firearms Officer. The ATC is rarely granted and typically reserved for occupational purposes or exceptional circumstances. Applicants must demonstrate proficiency with their firearm and adhere to all legal requirements outlined in the Firearms Act. These include safe storage, transportation, and use of the firearm. Failure to meet any of these requirements can result in fines, imprisonment, or the revocation of your firearms license. While federal laws provide the foundation for firearm regulation, provinces and territories can impose additional restrictions. For example, in Ontario, carrying a firearm for self-defense is generally prohibited, even in remote areas. Exceptions are made only for authorized occupations. In Alberta and British Columbia, these provinces allow non-restricted firearms on Crown land outside of regulated zones, provided you follow all applicable laws. In Yukon, Northwest Territories, and Nunavut, where human-wildlife encounters are more common, residents may face fewer restrictions, but still require proper licensing and adherence to local guidelines. Before heading out, always verify the rules in your province or territory to ensure compliance. To learn more about carrying firearms while hiking in Canada, consult the following resources. The document Authorizations to Carry Restricted Firearms and Certain Handguns Regulations provides detailed information on obtaining an ATC and outlines the responsibilities of firearm owners. Visit lawsjustice.gc.ca for up-to-date federal legislation related to firearms. The RCMP offers comprehensive guidance on licensing, permits, and safety practices. Contact your provincial or territorial chief firearms officer for region-specific advice. Remember, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Always do your research before bringing a firearm into the wilderness. Exploring Canada's great outdoors is a privilege, and responsible firearm ownership is a key part of ensuring everyone's safety. By understanding and respecting the laws, we can protect ourselves, our communities, and the natural beauty around us. Stay safe, know the law. Thanks for watching, and happy trails.